Good morning. It's May 13th, 2020. That's right, I said May 13th. It's 36 degrees out. That ain't right. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather. We're not here to talk about the 120 admirals and generals that signed an open letter stating that the country is amidst the communist revolution. What we are here to talk about is the cost. The cost of that communist revolution. Now, it's easy to look around, right, and see the monetary cost. In a minute here, I'm going to be passing a gas station. It's a small mom and pop operation that I've been passing for the last year, and intermittently before that, they were always more expensive than everybody else because it's a mom and pop operation. They're currently selling fuel for, I believe, $3.19 a gallon. That's for regular gas. Now, I realize I'm in the Northeast, so we get it good and hard anyway. But a year ago, it was like $2.50, and that was expensive by standards in this area, right? If you go to the grocery store, I touched on this briefly in another video. You look at the cost of things like meat, dairy. They're on a steadily increasing path, and steadily dwindling availability. Ha! I lied. $3.25 a gallon. Anyway. Exponential increase in the monetary cost of goods and service. That's the obvious cost. What about the not so obvious cost? What about dwindling labor force participation because the government's making it more lucrative for people to stay home? Right, you get an extra, what is it, like $700 a week from Uncle Fed to collect unemployment in addition to whatever state benefit you're receiving. Why would you want to go back to work? We're looking at another fairly sprawling stimulus package coming up in July with the addition of a child tax credit. So not only is the government going to further incentivize sloth, but they're going to incentivize you to be lazy and have more kids so that we, the working class, can support you. While we, the working class, get up every day to make an honest living, to support our families and ourselves, struggle week to week to do that. So while you're incentivizing people to not work, you're disincentivizing those of us that do. Right? Because, well, why would I want to work if I can stay home and double my freaking money? Why would I want to work to support my kids if the government's going to give me money to do it? Excuse me. It's also allergy explosion here, by the way. haven't even gotten into the human cost of this communist revolution. Communism in and of itself, in the course of history, killed more people than the Holocaust. Either through re-education or for being a dissident. Or just an outright starving people to death because there was no food or there was no money to buy food with. Or because they were innocent bystanders, collateral damage, if you will, of the machine, of the chaos in the streets. People talk about, what happens in a case of without rule of law, WROL. Look around. You're in a lawless society. You may not be specifically in a lawless society, but you're in it. That clown in New York that shot all those people in Times Square, they picked up down in Florida. He was picked up and arrested I don't know how many times before that. New York has no bail law, so free he went. Does that sound like with rule of law to you? You've got select groups of people, and I'm going to borrow the names from another channel because I think he nailed it. You've got tots and bums taking over cities. People like me sitting there with their thumbs in their ass doing nothing about it, arresting good people for trying to defend themselves. As opposed to the people who are making them defend themselves. Because either they've been so browbeaten that they're getting up and going through the motions, or the politicians in these places are like, no, hands off. Now I want you to look. There's a reason I opened the sunroof. If I could point this further out the window, I would. Look around and tell me what you see here. Besides trees and sky, maybe a telephone pole in a minute here. There you go. Did you see that? I'm not so worried about roving gangs of timeout terrorists and BLM activists, because there's nothing here. And based on their need for easy victims, they'd lose interest long before they found anybody. But not everybody can look around and see this. Some of you really get it. You're stuck in a city. You're dealing with that. Where you're taxed and squeezed more and more, right? Every day you get up and go to work to watch more and more of your hard-earned money go in somebody else's pocket. While all those goods and services that used to be within your reach are just paying for you to get up and do it again. And that's before we even get to this damn communist utopia. So if you want to think about the cost, what's at stake, think about what I just said. And I'll catch you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to. Be safe. Watch your six. Out for now.